All right, welcome back. Just pulled up in front of my house, and there's a couple things I want to talk about. One of them is a response video, and the other one is a rather in-depth question that I was not expecting from a friend of mine that got me thinking. It's tied to Cyberpunk 2077, and the other one, like I said, is a response video to a friend of mine, Hammerhand, with one of his videos about, fuck forgiveness and all that. Which I have to say, I kind of have to agree with him on this point, just because forgiveness does kind of, some people don't change. You give them forgiveness, they'll just go back doing the same thing. I'll address that first. The thing is, it's said in scriptures that a dog will return to its vomit, and I can't remember where that's found, but well, it's in there. And I want to say that there needs to come a time after you forgive when you need to stop, because things are not changing. Things are just honestly getting worse. They're either staying the same or getting worse. Now, either way, it could be staying the same for you for the time being, or getting worse overall for everyone else. Or frankly, you could be going through problems, trials and tribulations, whatever you want to call it, challenges, and you need to cut things short a little bit and focus on your own needs. One of the biggest things, and I have talked about this in the past, but one of the biggest things that is not being talked about is the needs that men have that they need to address. And sometimes men, out of the goodness of their hearts, will forgive others and let things slide to avoid potential problems. When it comes down to women in this day and age, I don't think we have that luxury any longer. Now, as far as scriptures go, there's definitely scriptures that support forgiving as well as, letting go. But for example, letting go of the person who's caused problems frees you up so you can move forward in life. So here's the thing: you can forgive someone and move on, but never forgive the action. It's kind of goes along the lines with the whole forgive the sinner but not the sin. Now, the other thing is, when it comes down to it, you can be enabling someone else's unhealthy behavior and their own issues and problems by forgiving them. And I mean not forgiving them, but like just saying it without actually telling them, like, you need to change, without setting boundaries of some kind, saying like, look, I forgive you, but you need to stop doing this, and if you don't, I'm gone. The best example there would be a parent to a kid who's gone in trouble with DUIs or whatever, or drug habits, where some parents have been forced to kick out their kids because they're selling their jewelry or their stuff for money, for drugs, whatever. That's a problem, and you could be incidentally enabling that by forgiving. So, yeah, that's kind of a problem, unfortunately. You should still try to do the right thing if if you're a Christian and you follow scriptures and all that. There's a lot of good reasons why following and doing the right thing will pay off in the end, but it won't always be easy. I think that's where me and Hammerhand disagree with, or could have a conversation about. Now, still, I think I agree with him on this whole enough is enough. There needs to come a stopping point. And frankly, this is 2023. How much longer will forgiveness be extended? Now, God himself in the Bible has talked about how he has changed his mind, and he has listened to men, and his mind has been changed before on quite a few occasions. The dedication and faithfulness of a single man can alter the course of an entire generation. Now, the opposite is also true, is when the entire generation just says, screw you, bye, I don't care what you have to say. And then God just says, all right, suffer the consequences. And, things happen. Not really sure where things are falling there, but yeah. Anyway, just wanted to show a little bit of support to Hammerhand here. Now, the second part is rather interesting. That relates to Cyberpunk 2077. That is, can you remove sin from your life by replacing body parts? Now, it's one thing when organs fail. Now, it's another to wonder about where exactly sin falls and is within the human body, or whether or not it just exists on Earth. The idea of where it is at is an interesting one indeed. I want to say that if the body and the spirit are separate, that will completely nullify everything. Now, one of my friends, an old family friend of mine, talked about how, I forget the word that he used, but how things are degrading over time just due to what's happening naturally. And he's pointing out with like planets and bodies and stars and stuff out in the solar system about how there's a decay going on. Mortification is another word that's used in scripture. Now, mortification, if that happens overall, and death is probably will follow. Now, I would have to say that sin would be affected on a grand scale, on a global scale, possibly far beyond this earth. So, if that's the case, it wouldn't matter how many body parts you replaced. It's just an interesting thought here, and it would have just been by itself, but this is an interesting two-part topic here that I wanted to address real quick. Alright, until next time.